So back to Lincoln receiver site, had the long 15-mile drive, pretty much one segment of about 10 miles or so down Fittermint Road was pretty straight, and then at the top of that, the north end of it was Moore Road, which went into Roseville. But going down that section, there was a part where the road went right next to a stream, and in the stream there was a part where it went under the road, and then it went along the road for a little bit, and that morning it had been raining, and there was two segments of the road that were actually underwater, and in the middle of the first segment there was the Air Force bus had stalled and was right in the middle of the puddle, and that puddle was probably about knee deep or a little higher, maybe about halfway up the front grill of the bus. And so it was stopped there, and one guy was out and everybody else was nice and high and dry in the bus, those people that rode the bus to work. And so there's too many things to pay attention to here. Anyway, so well, I'm going to have to clip this again. Anyway, so I didn't want to go through the water because I would have had to go around the bus, and I wasn't sure where the road was under the water, so I didn't want to go off the road, accidentally. So I was sitting there waiting, and finally an old farmer came up in his big truck, and he said, "Hey, I could pull you guys out, but you got to hook up to the front, hook up to the bus somewhere." So I said, "Okay, and I'm already wet because I've been out there trying to help them get the bus started." Anyway, so I walk up to the front of the bus and in front of the grill, and have the guy pop it open. And as I opened it, there was a snake that was, obviously trying to get out of the water, and was on the bus grill, wrapped up somewhere on the thing. And so I said, "Oh shit!" And I'm, backing up. There's a snake, and the farmer just said, "Oh, it's a little snake," and he grabs it. And the snake was kind of, I don't know, was stunned because of the water. It was, fighting for its life. So the guy grabbed the snake and he goes, "Well, I don't want to let it go in the water because it'll just drown." And I said, "Well, here, I'll take it." So he hands me the snake, and I'm thinking I'm going to take this home and show Carol. It'll be cool. And so I take the snake and I say, "Well, what am I going to do with this?" I said, "Well, I'm going to just put it in the back of the little trunk of my little Toyota Corolla, and get it out when I get home." So I throw it in the back because I'm in a hurry to help out with the bus. I throw it in the trunk, close the trunk, and say, "Okay, that's good until the end of the day." Then I go to work, and we finally get through all the water and stuff, and turned out the water wasn't quite as deep as I thought it was, but I was able to drive my car through it, and so the next day, or then that night when I got home, I went to get the snake out of the trunk, and it was, oh no, at work I grabbed a box, and I went out during the day to get the snake out of the trunk. And when I got there, I opened up the trunk, and there was no snake in the trunk as far as I could see. Looked all over, as I said, it already got away. And I guess trunks aren't as secure as you think they are. Anyway, so just went, forgot about it for the rest of the day. And anyway, that weekend, Carol and I had gone shopping, and we'd come back out of the store, and as I went to open my my car door, there was a snake bumping its head against the window, trying to get out through the window. And so I said, "Oh crap, there's the snake." So it had been in the car the whole time. I don't know how many days it was before while we were driving around with it in the back. But anyway, so we got, I got the box out of the back trunk because I had thrown it in there after the snake was missing, and grabbed the snake, and it was still kind of stunned because I closed. I slammed the door on it when I was there trying to get out. Not on it, but in its face. But so we threw it in the box and went home. We lived in a little apartment building. I think it was I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, doesn't matter. But we had the snake there, and I was poking at it. Well, it was in the box. I was, had the one flap of the box that had torn off, and or something that I was poking at it with, and all of a sudden I heard a rattle, like little rattle, and it was rattling its tail against the box, and I thought, "Oh crap, it's a rattlesnake." I closed it up, and the box up, and just then a paper boy came to the door, collecting or selling papers. I don't know if we were getting it at the time, but either way, he came to the door asking for the money for the paper. And I was saying, "Hey, you want to see something cool?" This is about a 14, 15-year-old. And I said, "You want to see something cool? I've got a snake here." He goes, "What? Let me see." So I opened the box and showed it to him, and he goes, "Oh, that's really cool." And I said, "Yeah, but I think it's a rattlesnake." He goes, "Oh, awesome." So he said, "Are you going to keep it?" And I said, "Well, don't have a place to keep it at." So he said, "Can I have it?" So I said, "Sure, just be careful." So ended up giving the kid the snake, and I never heard any stories about a little kid getting bitten by a rattlesnake in the neighborhood, so I'm assuming he was okay. Anyway, that's the snake story. As good as it is, having trouble kind of remembering parts of the details. But anyway, all right, I'll